It was a crazy experience.
What's up, YouTube? Back-to-back wins for this guy. Can you make it 3 in a row?
That's what we're looking for. It's the last race of the season. A little sad, but...
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
We'll be back in a couple months. What, in March?
I believe they do start in March this year, but...
And we're going to be doing another spot in coming January.
We'll be doing, next year we have 3 different karting competitions set up for you guys. So we'll be running those, and then we'll be doing other videos in between, such as sim racing, karting experiments, and then cars, just driving. We'll also be breaking down stuff for you guys.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do when Formula 1 and NASCAR come back, we're gonna start doing a little weekly breakdown where on Mondays, we're gonna talk about the races that went down over the weekend, our feelings, driver of the week, all that kind of jazz.
Alrighty, now it's time for qualifying. You ready?
Hell yeah.
I think you're up first.
I hope the car doesn't break.
I hope so too.
That was a close qualifying. You got kart 19, I got kart 21. Little behind.
It was.
Yeah.
Good seeing you.
Oh, you're taking off?
I'm off.
Hey, let's just have fun. We get to run a backwards race after this.
Okay, here we go. Focus. Speed. I am speed. 1 winner. 42 losers. I eat losers for breakfast. Breakfast? Maybe I should have had breakfast. A little brekkie could be good for me. No, stay focused. Speed. I'm faster than fast, quicker than quick. I am lightning.
Hey, Lightning, you ready?
Dude, we're gonna get lapped. weeks in the books. That was a hell of a good time. I had a lot of fun racing with you. How was it for you?
It's a great time. I'm looking forward to getting going again in March. And we also have the next one coming up this Sunday.
This Sunday, we start our first tournament of the year at K1 Speed. We're doing the big tournament where it's the first Sunday of every month for the entire year to get entered to go to K1 Circuit and race. So we're starting off with that. And we will be putting out a video next week about the cost of karting. We've done a full breakdown on last year's karting and next year's karting and how much that's going to cost. So stay tuned for that for our next video.
So, end of the year, 12 races. How did you do?
I feel like I did pretty decent with the carts that we had. I mean, the carts aren't bad. The people at MB2 take care of the carts. They do the best they can, but people go in there, they wreck the carts.
It's a public
public
place.
karting. So the carts are going to be a little beat up, but they weren't horrible.
No, it was real. Like, I think the best way is saying it's akin to Russian roulette. Every week, the cart that was number 1 last week, it could be cart number 8. This next week, it's cart 20. Next week, it's 15. Next week, it's 16. Then it'll be 22. It's always
changing.
Yeah.
Which made it kind of fun because
it provided a different layer of challenge on top of just qualifying race. That's it. You're just going against the other people. It's another dimension of opponent to go against.
and the great thing about that was, like, you didn't know what cart you were in
Until you sat down and you were moving.
Yeah, you walk to the thing, you put your helmet on, and they say, you're going to cart, blah, blah, blah. And that could either make or break your day.
And depending on your session, if you get a shit cart in qualifying 1, make up for it. Make up for it.
But then you could get a good cart in Q2.
Exactly.
Get a good spot in the race.
If all falls apart, you get a bad cart in the race. So, like I said, it add that extra, dimension of...
And that's what we're looking forward to with racing at K1.
Yeah.
And other races we hope to do is, what is our limit with this? Like, what is it us and what is the carts?
Yeah. And that's going to be the real
and within
make
MB2,
or break and what we're going to see.
And with MB2, you were able to learn different carts because every cart handled so different. Like, I know they kind of look like they all just probably handle the same. They look the same, but not every cart handles the same.
Some of them, if you were a lighter person, you're going to be popping around. You're going to be moving around a lot. If you're heavier, you got a little bit more weight on you, certain carts, they'll be perfectly balanced, but then other ones that are a little bit weightier drags you down.
Yeah.
So it really was a roulette of what am I going to get and when am I going to get it.
Which made it fun, but stressful.
What did you think about the format of everything? How did you? We started out in May with just going and doing you, me, and JT going around the track, goofing around.
I like just showing up to a karting place and be able to kart and goof around with my friends. But the whole reason why we did this is because we love racing.
It's not just the karting. It's the
racing in general. Whether it's going to racing, watching racing, video games racing, anything to get that racer's edge out, I wanted to find it, and we found it with this karting at MB2.
Yeah, we came in. It was all, it had format. We went in. Everyone gets called. We do 2 qualifying sessions, so you get 24 laps to put down your best time. And then we got our 15 laps, and we go rolling start, formation lap. Like, it was all...
It felt like a real race. Like, it is a real race.
It put us onto the most even playing field as much as it could in a place like that.
Yeah. And that's what I thought was the coolest thing about it, because, like, there was rules, flags. Like, if one person crashed, we all slowed down like a real race.
Yeah.
And it just made it feel really authentic.
You had yellow flags, you had red flags, you had...
Yeah. Restarts and everything.
Yeah.
So I think the format was great. I loved it. I can't wait to do it again.
I just wish it was longer.
Yeah. But I think that's just electric carts.
Yeah.
I don't think they can't go that long. So hopefully one day, we can do like endurance kart racing.
Well, yeah, and then with the carts, it's the speed difference too. Because some of them, they all start at 100%. They're all pretty quick, but one can hit 90%, and that 90% can be a lot different than the other. Like it's really all cart to cart, day to day.
Also, it wasn't an open tournament, but the same 12 people showed up every week.
Yeah, our top 8 at least was always the same.
Yeah, and that's what kind of made it so crazy, because you would look at like some of the new people come in, and they would run like a second and a half off everybody else. And the top 8 of us are within like 0.4 of a second.
I mean, there was one week, there was 25 people there, and I think it was 18 people were within 0.6 of each other.
In all different carts.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous gap of,
it was crazy.
That was a crazy week. What did you think of MB2's track compared to, you know, the Thousand Oaks at K1, and then you've, you know, living in North Carolina, you've go-karted quite a bit more than I have.
I've gone to a lot of tracks.
You know, even our local Mount Asia track.
Yeah.
How do you think this track stacks up in terms of everything?
In terms of technicality of track, I think it's a pretty basic track, like when it comes to the look of it, but it does have its challenges. It does have different sealers on the cement, so you do have some more slippery turns, and you have some turns that are really gripped, and it does make it a little more challenging on where you want to align yourself up on the track. But for the most part, it's a pretty good track. What did you think of the track?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was simple. It was simple, but it also, you know, you couldn't just get out there and say, fuck it, we ball. You had to pay attention. You had to run a couple laps. You had to get familiar with it. It wasn't
It's very inviting of a track. It looks very simple.
It's a low floor with a high ceiling. Yes. I think is the best way to put it. You know, anyone could get in there. Like, we brought plenty of friends and family each week, and before that, anyone can get in there and they can, you know, perform well if they have that instinct. But also, if you know what you're doing, you can
really push it.
You're gonna put 2 seconds on those people.
It just takes a couple of pointers to get up to the speed. All right, you're done.
And then finishing off, we got the opportunity to take the track backwards,
which I think is a way better track.
We're gonna with our little bit of power and our little bit of sway, we're gonna try and get it so that next season it's backwards the whole time, because it was a crazy experience. I wish we should have recorded it.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
We do have some external footage which we'll show at the end of this video. It's a lot of fun. I mean, we weren't racing for time. We were just
goofing around with all the boys. But we still got some really good footage of going. We had you, me, and Anthony going 3-way down the straight. Like, we had some good little bits in there. And it's more technical and it's faster.
Yeah, by like a half a second. And we weren't even trying to find out the fastest line on that track.
We were exploring the track. We were taking every different line you could think of, and we were.
Oh, it has so many lines. There's so many entry points and exit points on that track.
Overall, I think it was a good season. I think, you know, we finished 6th and 7th respectively.
I don't know how you...
1 and 2 come March. That's all. I think that's all we really got to say.
I think 1. 2. 4th.
Last.
You're not even showing up. Well, if you like this video and you haven't checked out the rest of the videos, I'll leave the playlist down below. Click on that and check out the entire season so you can decide if you want to go to your local track and try out some racing.
Don't head out just yet. Right after this, we're going to have the footage from the backwards track. Some outside cam views. Looks pretty nice. And then a few days later, we're going to be doing a detailed breakdown of how much money we've spent from when we started karting in May to now.
Before you watch that backwards race, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our racing content that come in the future.
Got a lot of stuff coming. We're going to be doing a breakdown. We're going to do some sim racing stuff. We're going to take our cars out. You know, and we got K1 coming up this weekend. So a lot of fresh content, a lot of different stuff.
Weekly videos and special guest appearance by Muffin. 7170 Brothers out.